How you doing, guys? Today I'm giving you a little update on the chassis. You can see the transmission is put back together. I did have a series of videos that I had put together putting that transmission together, but they got deleted, so I don't have them anymore. But essentially what we have is the 8-speed transmission with the 1 1/8 inch axles, the 520 model 520 pumpkin 8-pinion is in there, and it went together real good. I only had one issue. When I originally put the cases together, I should say, I used a paper gasket and some gasket sealer to seal them up. What that created was, obviously I used the incorrect size gasket because there was a lot of play, or I shouldn't say a lot of play, but there's a fair amount of movement of the axles back and forth in the case. So what I did was I took it all apart, scraped the gasket off, cleaned it all the gasket material off it, and then put it back together, but I didn't put a gasket in there, no paper gasket. I just sealed it up with gray Permatex. And what that did was provide me with just an appropriate amount of movement. I don't know if I can even, you can hear it, but I mean, there's basically nothing there. And that really created a better situation in my mind. I'm much happier with that. The brake shaft fits, slides in and out a much more appropriate amount. So I'm happy with that. Transmission looks like it's going to be, it looks like it's going to work and function correctly. So I'm real happy with that. As you can see, I used some grade 8 cap style bolts. You can see the plates that I welded in the bottom section of the frame. Number one, to fix the cracks that had been created, as well as strengthen the entire unit up. I got all 4 bolts in there. They're torqued. Got some hardened washers in place. And then it fit together really nice. You can just see there's a nice perfect seam. Nice perfect seam all the way through. So everything really fit real nice. Went together real nice with that, so I'm real happy. The sun gear and the steering rod I just have laid in there. I'm shimming it right now to get all the play out of it. I did replace the lower, whoops, there it is, the lower bushing right in this area. I have a video of me doing that on my other tractor, so I just didn't really feel as if you wanted to stare at me doing the same project, but same exact thing. Took the old bronze bushing out, brought a new bushing over to my buddy's machine shop, and I turned it down and made it fit. And well, there's just no play in it. I mean, the bolts aren't in there, so I can't really, but there's no play. This is in real good shape, so there's no play in the front there either. Now, one of the other things I did, if you may notice, there isn't a spring clamp, or what do you call it, snap ring holding the front piece on. I did make a new kingpin support, or a kingpin system, however you want to call it. And the reason why is this. The original one from Wheel Horse, okay, is a little bit, this is an original, and it is a little bit spindly. It has very thin steel. It's a 5/16 bolt, but they're hogged out pretty good. Then it has just a snap ring in the front that holds it all together. Also, this one has some wear on it from years of use. So I never really liked this design, so I wanted to make it a little bit stronger, because when you pull, typically the front end will rear itself up and then it'll come slamming down. So I wanted to just make a unit or a piece that was a little bit more stout. So this is what I did. Not really technically hard, but let's take, you know what we can do? Let's just take this thing right out of the way. There we go. So what I did was I used a thicker piece of band iron as the backing plate. I took a piece of 3/4 inch bar stock, and obviously I drilled a hole, and I cut and measured it so that it would just barely stick out the front of the frame. I drilled and tapped it for a 5/16 bolt, And this was already a 5/16 bolt here. That's the factory bolt. And what I did was I just, measured it correctly, cut once, measured twice, just like anything else, and welded the 3/4 inch bar stock to the thicker piece, bolted into place. Just took I took a little steel spacer or bushing and put that in, a couple washers, tightened it all up, and now what we have is the whole lower section of the frame is actually bolted together, and there's absolutely no play whatsoever in the, there's no play whatsoever side to side. It articulates nice and smooth. There's no baloney. There's no twisting. It doesn't twist like this, and just gives me a much stronger front end. A lot of these old tractors like this are real loose side to side. The axle will rock like this in the frame, kind of like in this direction. That's all been eliminated, and it still articulates just fine. There's no binding, there's nothing. So I'm real happy with that. So what else did we do? Oh, the spindles that were on this 1056 were really blown out, so I had to go back to eBay. And I got myself a set of replacement spindles. These are off a 605. I think that's what they were. Exactly the same. Gonna just clean them up. They're in real good shape. Very little wear. These like steering arms are straight, so that makes a lot of difference. The 1056 steering arms are bent and twisted, so I got to clean those up. I got another one right here. There's the other one. So we're going to be doing that. The other thing we had, I sandblasted the head of the Magnum 14, so that's coming along. I'm going to actually glass bead it because the sand I used was a little too aggressive. So that's on its way to being done. I got my rear rims. These are obviously off of John Deere, but the offset and the actual spacing or width is exactly like, or almost nearly exactly, to a 520 wheel horse wheel. The 520 wheel is 9 inches wide. These happen to be 8.5. They cost me a fraction of what a 520 rim would cost. So I was just like, yep, I'll take them. And they're super clean. There's no rust. There's no rot. The beads are about as nice as they're gonna come. You're not gonna get anything nicer than that for tractors of these ages. These are going to go off to my buddy to get powder coated. I'm probably going to powder coat them black. That's what I'm thinking, because I'm going to have a set of aluminum wheels on the front. So I think it's going to look real sharp with the red wheel weights from Wheel Horse on the black rims with the aluminum front rims. It's going to look real sharp. Plus the Magnum motor will be black, so it'll have a real good look. And then the last thing we have going on, it's an amazing day out here today. We're talking 72 degrees in the northeast. Unbelievable. The other thing I did was I sandblasted the flywheel for the Magnum 14. I just shot it with some self-etching primer. Same with the rear hubs. Getting ready to just flip them over to the fronts. And then eventually we'll paint all this stuff. Not too many parts are going to get painted, but these are. Alright guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and the update. I'm hoping to have something a little bit more in depth coming up in the next week or two. I am going to have a video coming up where they've been, or where are they now, I should say, sorry. About the tractors that are on my YouTube station and where are they now. Basically what has ever happened to them. I've been getting a lot of questions in reference to that, so hopefully you'll find that interesting. I got that video. I'm putting it together right now. And I'm trying to track down a couple of my old tractors that I sold, so that way I can make it about as accurate as I possibly can. Alright guys, thank you very much. If you like watching little projects, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, have a nice day.